What's up, everyone? My name is Henry, and I launched my YouTube channel the other day, and I've decided that I will be sharing, a lot of videos on, you know, things I've learned and skills I've picked up along the way. I'll be sharing them with you. So today we are going to be learning how to design a login page for an application, and we're going to be using Figma. And yeah, hope you guys learn a thing or two about how to design a login page. And if you have any question, please drop it down in the comment below. And yeah, let's get into the video. I have started with a blank Figma file. So I would try and guide you guys through the entire creative process of trying to create the login page. So hope you guys learn a thing or two. And yeah, like this is basically me trying to see what works and what I can create out and share to the rest of the community. So if you like this, please hit that subscribe button and ring that bell to get notified when I release a new video. Okay, so the first thing to do is we need to get an artboard, right? So if you can see the mouse, I'm moving it around on the top left corner. I'm just going to choose like the frame tool. Now when that is selected, I can come down here and choose the phone I want to use. So I am going to use the um, iPhone 8 Plus. So let's use the iPhone 8 Plus as the screen. So yeah, this is our screen. We have one artboard on the screen. So one more thing, guys, I'm so sorry. I need to minimize this. So let me just minimize that. I'm probably going to cut this out of the video. Why is it not? Oh wow. It's not minimizing. Okay, that's fine. Oh, it's actually not fine. I'm frustrated by this. Okay, so it doesn't want to work. So let's just um, go on, right? So this is a phone frame, basically. So this basically allows us to this is what it would. This is what an iPhone phone looks like. So we would be designing a login screen, and so depending on the style of the application, the screens would generally look different. So, but then there are some rules that generally apply to most screens. So let's just like start out. Usually, the way this should go is obviously they should have been like a brief and like wireframes and all those done. So what we will do right here is I'm going to start with a brief you know wireframe to like lay out okay the things or the elements we want to be on this page. So I'm going to take a tool. This is like a rectangle tool. So I'm just going to draw a margin. So this is like 20 pixels. So I'm going to hold Alt to duplicate, and I'm going to create another one and put it right here. So this basically like helps us like have areas that we want our um, buttons and inputs fields to stay. So so we will do like a couple of screens. So let's just have a rough sketch where so let's just say we have a logo here. So what I'm doing is like a rough wireframe. So let's just say we have a logo here of the brand or the app. This could be a logo or an illustration or whatever. So let's just go with this, and going over here we're going to click on the rectangle tool, and let's draw the inputs. So this is the same color as the margin, so I'm just going to change the color over here from the color ruler, make it slightly darker so I can really see like which is which. Then make sure this is aligned, because it's obviously not aligned right now. So I think it's aligned now, and this edge as well. For some reason it's not snapping. It's supposed to snap to this edge. Okay, that's weird. That's very weird actually. Okay. Okay, so this would be our inputs. So for a login page, we have username, password, then login button. So let's say we have this one as the username, then we're going to make another one as the password, then we're going to have a last one as the button. Obviously everything here is not arranged well, but this is just a rough wireframe that would help us know what we are designing. So yeah, so from here we can see that, I feel like this is a little bit too big, so we're just going to reduce it a little bit to like that size, a little bit bigger, like that size. Let me zoom in a bit so I can have more control. So yeah, that size I think is okay. So I'm just gonna delete these two, duplicate. Then another thing we also have to keep into consideration is the amount of space between each of these rectangles. So just gonna, and obviously like to duplicate, you hold Alt and you click on the shape, and when you're ready to duplicate it, you release your mouse, then you release the Alt. Don't release the Alt first. If you release Alt first, then it would not duplicate properly. So let's say we have these guys, they look really cool. So I think what we're going to do with this here is to reduce the opacity. So let's reduce the opacity so we can't really see that anymore. So we have this. As you can see, it's beginning to look a little bit like a login page. So the first thing I would generally do is make this have a radius of 5 pixels. So we have this. Then I would also reduce the opacity a bit. Let's make it 50. So We'll do the same thing here. Actually, let me highlight both of them and do that together. Make that 5. Then reduce the opacity to 50%. So yeah. So the next thing we want to do is to add like the labels, and if the input fields will have any place holders, we need to add that as well. So basically the label is basically like a text that tells the user what to input in each of the fields. So first thing I'm going to do is click on the text tool, come down here, choose the font. I'm going to use Montserrat, everybody's favorite font. Where is that font? So yeah. So then I'm just, so the first field would be username. So let's just add that username. So the font size right now is 12 pixels, and the font is regular. So let's just push this. So the reason we have this margins here is because they help us make sure everything is aligned. So the username is aligned to this edge. So let's just increase the font size a little bit to, let's just do 16. Then let's do semi-bold. So, or regular, medium. So we have username. Right. Now, one thing about, okay, we would get to that soon. So, you know, we have the username block now. The next block we would want to create would be the, so let's group these guys first. So group. So now we have this as a group. So it will help if we just duplicate it actually to make it easier. So let's delete this guy down here and let's duplicate this guy. So we'll have to move this a little bit down as well. So like here. But the space is actually a whole lot more than that. So like that. So username, password. So we have that. So as you can see how it looks already. Coming out pretty nice. So let's zoom back in a bit. So now we can start playing. I think we can increase the font size a little bit more than 16. So let's do 18. So the font size right now is 18, right? So yeah, this looks pretty good. So this would be the login button. So I need to just make sure it's the same distance as this is from here. Not as this overall is, but as this square, as the same as this square to this square. So I mean there are many ways to go about that, but I will just do like a manual distance check. But I think it is okay, a little bit So we need to move this down a little bit more to here. So one thing you would really realize when designing is you have to make sure everything is aligned, and if it's not aligned, it has to be intentional. Like, why is it that it's not aligned? So there are many things that we can really do to like spice up this page, but let's just grab this whole thing and move it down a little bit. So we have this. So obviously, as you can see right here, everything is grayscale, and this is like a rough wireframe. So now we are going to try add some colors and probably some icons, to see how we can make this look cleaner. So I'm just going to duplicate this over here so we can have like both of them. So the next thing I would do is let me add the text for the button. So we're going to have log in right here. So the font size is the same font size as the labels, but we may increase the font weights. Let's make it like bold, because the reason that we're making this bold is because this is the call to action. So this is the most important button on this page. So I mean, I think everything looks a little bit cleaner now. So the next thing we will do is let's start adding some colors and some elements to really like bring everything together. So let's go with a, so I don't know what color to use, but let's just go with some kind of color. Obviously, like everyone knows me, I love blue like a lot. So we could be using a shade of blue right here. Is this? So I'm trying to know if I wanted to use like a dark shade or a light shade, or if we should just use whites. Okay, I think we would use whites, but then let's make the button a color. So let's see. Let's make it, I don't know, guys. What do you guys think? Let's make it this blue. I think this blue looks clean. So the next thing we have to do is make this white. And obviously, using black in any design isn't really ideal, except you have a very good reason why you want to use black, because it's very high contrast and it doesn't really look good. So okay, so we have this and we have this. So the next thing we will do is we're going to play with the color of the input. So let's reduce the opacity. I'm trying to see what we can do here. If we can use like the color of this, or we should just play with like black and reduce the opacity a bit. So I mean, all this really depends on you, but you just want it to be clear that okay, there's an input here and you can click on it. So I think this looks good. So I'm just going to remove, or I would hide this guys out a bit so we can see the screen. So let's add some other elements to bring everything together. So up here we have like the logo or the icon. I'm thinking if we should get an illustration for this. So let's just try that. So we would go to on draw, So Undraw is like a really cool site that they have really awesome illustrations. It's called undraw.co. So yeah, they have a lot of awesome illustrations. So let's see what we can use for our application. So yeah, I mean they have a lot of cool stuff. So I don't know, guys. Like, what do you think we should use? Uh, hmm. So yeah, like I'm doing everything right now in like real time. But if this were a real project, like this would not be, I guess, the process you would use. There would be a lot more things you can or you should do before you start designing. But I'm just showing you guys like the basics. So I mean, I guess we can use this. I don't know if it looks too big. So let's just download the SVG of this, put it in our downloads, and yeah. So coming back to the Figma, we're gonna click on the menu, click on the file, place image, and downloads, and we will see the SVG, and we're just going to open it. So now it should be open, just going to place it on the screen. So obviously really um, it's really big, but we would resize it right now. I hope. Oh my god! So it's not grouped. So everything is not grouped. So I'm just okay. Oh wow. So I'm just going to undo to back to when it was pasted here. Then I would group it by pressing Ctrl G. So now everything is one big group. So I can resize it now. So just gonna resize it and put it in the artboard. Resize it a little bit more. And note that when I'm reducing the size, I'm also holding shift to make sure that it stays in proportion. So I'm just going to delete this circle and I'm just going to put this up here. Reduce the size a little bit more. Obviously, like, I don't think this is a really good illustration to use for here, but I'm using it either ways. But I think in order to make it look nicer, I'm just going to shift this down a little bit, like here. Then I think I'm going to reduce the space in between the username and the password. I think that space is too much. So yeah, as you guys will see, like the design process is basically all about trying to realize what works and building up on that idea, I guess. So we're just going to reduce this a little bit to here. So as we can see, it looks a whole lot better. One other thing that I'm kind of realizing, if I'm not sure, but I think okay, I think it's actually okay. So let's just another thing to do right now is to group the button and the text, so we can always edit them together. So we're going to bring this down. So obviously we don't have um, the guides on anymore. Okay, they're back now. Oh my god, sorry guys, this doesn't want to snap. Okay, finally. Oh my god. Okay, so oh wow. Okay, so let's play with this length. Like, how far down should we have the button? Let me zoom out. let me zoom out. So let's carry it up a bit, down a bit. So I think there looks perfect. So like there. So let's see how that looks. I'm gonna just reduce sizes of that and that. And yeah, we have we have a login screen almost done. Let me know what you guys think about this contents in the comments below. I will try and improve each of these videos as I get comfortable with the experience of creating on the internet. And yeah, like if you guys like this and share, to really make me do more of this. So let me know what you guys think. So we have this. So the last thing, so we could add some placeholder text. So this would be text that just helps guide the user. But I don't think we really have to here in this situation. So the next thing usually that you would see in a login page is sign up button or call to action under the login. So this usually shows up in two ways. At times it could show up as a secondary button, but usually it shows up as a simple text that's basically asks, oh, don't have an account, then sign up here. So we're just going to add that. Let me see, I wrote her instead of here. So here, so this is bold. We don't want it to be that bold. We want it to be visible, but let's reduce the font a little bit. So we want everything to be medium, but we want the call to action to be bold. So like this. So just gonna centralize everything. I'm just gonna use this. Centralize everything. Take it up a bit. So yeah, I think this looks good. So one other thing we would have to do, or we can do, just to spice up the design. I'm just going to see how this looks. If it doesn't look good, I'm going to take it out. So just to add some shapes so I'm just going to go here, add some shapes, put that at the background, add one here, add one here. So let's see how this looks. So let's see how this looks. Add some shapes. Then I'm gonna color the shapes blue, like this same blue. But I'm gonna reduce the opacity and push them all to the back. I don't know if this looks good over here because it's overlaying on the button. Let's try something else. So let's make this dark like this. Okay, and we can have another one probably up top here, like over here. And just to simplify, make everything the same, we could do that, and we can have one more one more somewhere like here. Let's push that out a little bit. So yeah, I think we are done with this screen. Let me know what you guys think about this, and if you enjoyed this, smash that subscribe button and tell your friends to follow this channel, because I will be sharing a whole lot more design tips. If I made any mistakes, or if you spotted anything that I can improve, let me know in the comments below. And this is how to design an onboarding screen. So just a bonus for you guys, just for you guys. I would be let's see how this looks on an actual like phone. So I'm just going to go to the prototype settings, and yeah, let's see that. Let's see that I can choose a phone. So it's already on the iPhone 8 Plus Gold. So let's see how that looks, guys. Okay, it's showing me the other one. Prototype. Start frame. This frame. Thank you. So here you go, guys. This is the login screen. What do you guys think? And yeah, leave a comment down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.